And so that leads me to my first principle, and my first principle is accountability. And you can see that in the folder that you have. We must remain accountable to ourselves regardless of whether or not we're en route to accomplish that goal or if we're not. Because you know what the problem is? That we're so quick to point at her and say, oh, she didn't do what she said she was going to do. She didn't follow up. She didn't do what she was going to do. Oh, homeboy over here, he didn't do what he said he was going to do. We're so quick to talk. We're so quick to judge. But when it's us, bro, we turn a blind eye to ourselves. And we don't hold ourselves accountable. And accountability is the key to be able to get these things done. And so some of the ways that you can help yourself be more accountable are, number one, Carol talked about it, get yourself a mentor or a coach. Get yourself a mentor or a coach who has been where you've been, who has done what you've done. Because everybody here is different. And everybody here has different things that motivate them. And so the idea is that if you could talk to different people, you're gonna find that person that has that trick, that has that way of really getting you to hold yourself accountable. And so that's the first thing, get yourself a coach. The second way that you can help yourself be more accountable is to get an accountability partner or partners, right? That means that instead of me saying, yo, Steven, I need you to come with me, let's do this together. No, I'm saying, yo, Steven, my idea this year is that I wanna be able to close these many properties, right? And this is my strategy, right? So I'm not just telling Steven my goal. I'm telling Steven my strategy because I don't need Steven to come to me in December and say, hey, Eddie, you did it? No, I need him to come to me next week and be like, hey, how's that strategy looking? Because we have to hold ourselves accountable every step of the way, and the accountable partner is going to be able to hold you accountable every step of the way because he knows your strategy. And you may have one or you may have a couple. And when you have a couple, now we're talking about the people that you surround yourself with. And now we're talking about boundaries. That's the second principle. Setting boundaries when you're setting these goals is so important to help you be able to manage your time better, to help you be able to really put action to whatever that goal is, and to really help you make sure that the people that are around you are people that are going to help you grow, not people that are holding you down. And we all have those people in our lives that hold us down. We do. And some of them are good friends. Steven is my good friend, but he's holding me down, so I don't want to say nothing to him. He's also a little bigger than me. But you know, the idea is that we want to make sure that we know who's around us and that we know that the people around us are going to help us get to where we're going. And that's all in the boundaries that we set. So first is accountability, then is boundaries. And so with these boundaries, when you think about them, we need to think about two things. Well, it's a few things, but tonight I only got 15 minutes. So the first thing is that we need to set these boundaries early. Not today, not January 10th. We need to set them on January 1st when we talk about those New Year's resolutions. Because your boundaries need to line up with your resolution. And it needs to line up. It goes hand in hand. Your ambition needs to match your action. And so those boundaries are part of the action. And so the first thing is that we need to make sure that we're setting these boundaries early. Yo, Steve, we're not going to be hanging out this summer. Ya temprano. We're not going to wait till the summer till he hits me up and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. No, do it right now, bro. It's a wrap. Late compounds ain't happening, brother. Like whatever it is. We have to make sure that we set them early. But we have to make sure, number two, that we set them small. We start small. You know what happens a lot of times is that we overwhelm ourselves with these ideas. Oh my God, yo, what's that? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. By the way, I'm super Latino, so I super Spanglish shit. But listen. So we're there and we're like, oh my God, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it's so much that then what that does is that it gives us an excuse to say, you know what, I couldn't do it because era demasiado, it was too much. And so we have to start small. And so when we start small, what we do is that we start to reevaluate ourselves as we go. And so as you go, you evaluate yourself every week and you see where you're at, and you're like, you know what, wow, I didn't think I was gonna get this far forward so soon. Let me go ahead and readjust my goal and let me readjust my boundary. You know, and so what we're doing is that we're readjusting as we go, right? We start small and then we readjust as our goal, and we start to build habits. I think somebody talked about habits. Marlon, somebody said something about habits. Was it you? You got bad habits or something? I don't know. But so now we talk about habits, right? And so when we talk about habits, we now go into the third principle, which is consistency. You know, the importance of consistency is that consistency is going to help you build habits that are going to be pretty much the basis, or I think the paper says the blueprint of your legacy. And so we're talking about legacy, and I know, man, in this little small event at Boca, whatever, like legacy, that's a big word. Nah, all of you guys are going to leave a legacy. And I don't know what that legacy is. That legacy may be bigger than the other. I mean, for me, I want to be one of the best speakers in the U.S. My legacy is going to be big. They're going to know who I am, right? But your legacy might be smaller, and that's okay. But these habits that you start to build now are going to build that legacy. And so what are you doing to make sure that you're building habits that become the blueprint to your legacy, and you can become a mentor later, and you can help others later because you built kind of that basis of how it is that you did what you did. And you take that blueprint in 2024 and bam, expand it, right? And so some things to think about when we think about consistency is that we have to make sure we are kind of following along with our progress weekly and monthly. We're not waiting for the first quarter. We're not waiting for the second quarter. We're not waiting for the Christmas party at the end of the year. No. We're following through every week, every month to make sure that we're being consistent with the things that we said we were going to do. And if things didn't really working out, then we can stop, we can pause, and we can back up a little bit and say, you know what, we have to readjust this. Because it's okay to readjust goals. What's not okay is you just leave them behind and act like they weren't there. But we can readjust them. And so what we want to do is that every week and every month, we want to make sure that we are looking at them and we're talking to our accountability partner. We're friends again, me and Steven, right? And so we're talking to him and we're making sure that we're going the right way that we're supposed to be going. And the second thing when it comes to consistency is escaping my mind. Somebody can shout it out. The second thing when it comes to consistency is that we have to make sure that we're celebrating small wins. And that's what we did tonight. We gave a round of applause for ourselves. We have to celebrate ourselves every time. Every time we have a small win, it doesn't matter what it is. Celebrate it. We don't have to wait till the Christmas party. We don't have to wait that far. Celebrate yourself now. You're working your ass off now, so celebrate yourself now. And so that's part of how you keep yourself consistent, because you want to be able to keep celebrating yourself, and you want those people who you go home to see you being successful and see you celebrating yourself. And so that's going to drive you to want to be more successful and celebrate yourself even more. Now, these three principles are super important, but they're not as important as self-awareness, knowing who you are, knowing where you're going. And so I need you to please, like these things are all super important, but I need you to please take some time to get to know who you are, learn yourself. Learn yourself, understand yourself. Not what this guy knows. Who am I? Learn yourself, understand yourself, believe in yourself, and love yourself. And it'll make these ABCs go a lot smoother once you know who you are and you believe in yourself.